Everybody, Mo here, and in this video I'm bringing you guys 5 budget decks that you can play in LOR, and all of them are extremely cheap. So this is for if you're just getting into LOR, if, maybe you don't want to spend a lot of resources on this game. Granted, this game is extremely free to play, and every week you get your weekly vault rewards, so you should be able to get these tier 1 decks pretty quickly. I'd say within, I remember within my first month, I had 2 tier 1 decks already built. I believe it took me about 2 weeks to get my first tier 1 deck, and then after I got that, then it took me about a week. About every week, I was getting enough to make most of a tier 1 deck outside of like maybe the champions, which are the most expensive parts. So I have 5 decks for you. I have a burn deck. I try to get one in each archetype for you guys. So I have a budget burn deck, a budget combo deck, control midrange, and a budget swarm aggro style deck. So which is this one, so I have to open that one up there. And then again, all of these are extremely cheap. I tried to put no epics or as few epics as possible. As you see, has the total shard count up here in the top right corner. So this budget burn deck costs 5,200 shards. That is literally less shards than 2 champion cards. If you were to get 2 champion cards, that would be more expensive than building this entire deck. So I tried to make it really, really cheap in here. I put Braum in this one, but I think it's because you start the game with a couple of Braums, but you easily don't need Braum. You can take this one out. This is the only deck that has a champion. And as you see, this is, that's 9,000 shards. That's literally half of the cost here. So you can easily make these really cheap. The control deck and the combo deck are easily the most expensive. And again, that's because this has Braum. If you replaced a Braum with another unit, really any unit, then this only costs 9,000 shards, 10,000 shards, 7,000 shards, 9,000. So like for the price of a full set of champions, you could have an entire deck. So I'm excited to show you guys each of these decks and go through them and tell you what the card choices are and stuff like that, and give you the deck codes below. But before we get into the video, I wanted to remind you guys that 60% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and click that subscriber button and then click the bell, that helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year to start 2022 off real strong. So if you guys could do that for me, that'd make me happy, and I'd really appreciate it. So that's it for the intro. Let's get into the decks. Hey everyone, Mo here, and before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that my schedule is opened up for me to do coaching again. So if you're interested in private one-on-one coaching for me to help you, whether you're a newer player and you want to excel at the game very quickly and learn the fundamentals without developing any bad habits early, or if you're an experienced player who's already maybe platinum or diamond in your top 1%, but you need some help filling in the gap to get you to that 0.01%, to make you just some of the best, then hit me up on Discord and I can get you in some private one-on-one coaching lessons to help you polish up any skills you want to refine and help you learn all of the secrets to becoming a top player. That's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so the first deck here we have is Budget Burn. So this is kind of like aggro, except it's going to be more burn oriented. So if you come from Magic the Gathering, you're very familiar with just red deck wins or something of that nature. And this is just, go face. If you're from Hearthstone, this is basically just face hunter. You play a bunch of really cheap units because the goal here is to be extremely aggressive. And then everything else in this deck just deals direct damage. So you have the Mystic Shot that's dealing direct damage. These are all of your burn cards that deal face. A lot of your units also deal face. So for instance, this deals 2 to face, deals 1 to face, deals 2 to face, 2 to face, 1 to face. This gives you 1 damage every single turn it's alive to face. So very straightforward deck. Absolutely nothing too crazy about it. I didn't put any epics in here, so this is by far the cheapest deck. If you wanted to add champions to this deck and you're wondering where to take it from here, you could easily turn this into some type of pirate aggro deck. So you want to add Misfortune and Gangplank, and if you add Misfortune, Gangplank, or if you want to add like Draven and Jinx, you can build this exact deck except also add Dravens and Jinx into it, and that's really good. Again, if you want to spend a bunch of champions and you want to make an actual tier 1 or solid tier 2 deck, you want to get Misfortune and Gangplank, and then you want to take out the like Piltover and Zon cards and replace those with different Bilgewater cards, and you can do that just as well. So that's going to be it for the burn deck. Next we're going to look at is the budget combo deck. Alright, so here we have the combo deck, and again, we have Braum. You could easily take out Braum for some other either controlled tool to help you stall long enough for you to get your combo, or just for any other Poro that's really big. Now we have the new Freljord Poro, so here we can actually do that. I'll edit this for you guys. So we're going to take out Braum because Braum's kind of expensive. Okay, we're gonna look up for the new Poro. He's a 4-mana Poro. This guy right here. Look, rare, and boom. Look at how much cheaper this deck gets. So we'll save all this stuff. We'll save. Look at this. Boom. Price is 10,000. This is now cheaper, or the exact same price as the other control decks. So much cheaper. So the idea with this deck is it's a combo deck, and your combo card is Atrocity. So for those of you new to Legends of Runeterra, Atrocity is you can kill one of your units, and then you deal that much damage to anything, but most of the time you're going to deal that much damage to the opponent's Nexus. If you're from Magic the Gathering, this is Fling. So basically your goal is to use Heart of the Fluff and just make a very, very large Poro, and then you're going to Atrocity and hit them in the face. With things like Poro Snacks and Aurora Borealis, this is very easily a really, really good aggro deck as well, because you end up playing a bunch of these small units. You get to go really wide. Poro Snacks makes them really big, so you start playing like 1 mana 3/3s and 1 mana 4/4s sometimes, and it gets extremely crazy. And then eventually you just go Heart of the Fluff into Atrocity. Now that this is a 13 mana combo, so you can actually do this on turn 10. If you go to turn 10 and have all your spell mana, you can do it in 1 turn. So you can OTK your opponent on turn 10 with Heart of the Fluff Atrocity. And this is really, really nice. On top of that, it has a bunch of control tools in here, like Vile Feast, like Despair, Withering Mist, Withering Wail, stuff like that, to help you kind of live long enough and stall, so that way you can get this Heart of the Fluff Atrocity combo. Other stall tools we have here is going to be your Kindly Tavern Keepers and your Averos and Sentries. Both extremely good ways to control the board early on and make sure that you don't die and you can actually live long enough to pull off this insane OTK. So that's it for the combo deck. Let's move on to the control deck. So next we're going to be talking about the budget control deck. So if you have absolutely no friends and like to waste everybody's time, we have control, and this is for you guys. I'm just kidding, obviously. No deck shame there. Haha, me, very funny guy. So this is control. So the hardest part about budget control is that a lot of the win conditions for control are usually epics or very, very expensive cards. So cards that require champions. So like Feel the Rush requires champions. Your Trundle Lysandra Ledros deck requires champions and then a Ledros. Your War Mother's Call typically requires champions. So the cheapest way you can build this deck is actually with Howling Abyss. So this does have 2 epics in here, 3 epics, because it runs Howling Abyss. But Howling Abyss is kind of cheating because it gives you a bunch of leveled up champions. So this gives you ways to actually have a win condition outside of being able to play like actual champions and stuff like that in your deck. So the whole purpose of this deck, you see it's like oops all deck or oops all control, oops all spells is a lot of times what it's referred to as. You're really just, you play these 6 units here, and these are just stabilization units. This is Frostbite's an enemy, so if the enemy plays a really big unit, let's say like a Scion, or if you're, compared to the last deck, they play a really, really big Poro, like a Heart of the Fluff. If they play a really, really big unit, you get to play Icevale Archer, and that Frostbites it, which means it takes away all of the power of the card for 1 turn, which is really, really solid. The next card, other unit we play is Kindly Tavern Keeper. This has a play effect of Heal Your Nexus for 3. Which is, good. It's a 3-mana 3/3 body, so it blocks and kills a lot of things at that point in the game, and it also heals you for 3. So it does a really, really good job at fighting for board as well as healing your Nexus for 3 to help you not die. Life gain in this game is really, really big. It's not like Magic, where life gain, if you tack life gain onto a card, it kind of like sucks or it's whatever. Life gain is really, really, really big in Legends of Runeterra. And then after those 6 units, all we really have are just control spells. We have Piercing Lightness. It says here, drain 5 from unit. For this, drain is deal that much damage to a unit, and then you gain that much life back. So it's deal 5 to a unit, gain 5 life back. Withering Wail, deal 1 to everything, gain 3 HP. Withering Mist, drain 2 from each unit. Grasp, drain 3 from a unit. Like Despair, it lets you kill any small unit very easily. Avalanche is your board wipe. Blighter Ravine gains you life and it's a board wipe. So all of the cards in this deck do nothing but stall and kill units and allow you to buy time for your Howling Abyss. And then once you play Howling Abyss, all you have to do is just keep killing your opponent's stuff and then just play champions. Like, this is going to give you a win condition. It'll give you a leveled up Aurelian Soul. It'll give you that, like, leveled up Gangplanker Ezreal, something of that nature, a Twisted Fate even. And it'll help you close games out a lot quicker than you actually think. So the very important thing is using all of your tools here to be able to control the board. So if you like control, if you like playing, these slower type of decks, then this is definitely a really, really good budget deck for you. It's going to be one of the cheapest control decks you can make without champions. So that's it. Next, we're going to go on to the mid-range deck. Alright, and next for all you beatdown players that would just like to play mid-range units, you just like to go play unit, hit face, play unit, hit face, play unit, hit face, and you want to play units on curve all of the time, this is the deck for you. So this is mostly mono Demacia with a couple of Freljord cards in here, mid-range deck. So what this is it's your very standard mono green, mono white weenie style deck if you're from Magic the Gathering. This is very much just a good mid-range deck. You play 1-drop into 2-drop into 3-drop into 4-drop into 5-drop into 6-drop. And then you have spells that go with that to help you in combat. You have a spell that makes your units big enough so they don't die to stuff. You have a spell that makes your units bigger than the blocker so you don't die to stuff. You have a spell to help you kill units in the back row. And then you have a spell that helps you attack again as the unit deck. Then you have another spell that helps you kill other units. So you have a bunch of really good ways to kill units and interact and keep your units alive, as well as your units are just going to be really hugely statted to begin with because you're in Demacia. Omen Hawk is a really good addition. I put this so it's not just mono Demacia. I do have a couple of Freljord cards in here. So I have 3 Omen Hawk. This just makes your next allies bigger. So you can play Omen Hawk and then you draw like a protege, and now you have a 3-mana 3/5 challenger unit, and that's kind of disgusting. So a 3-mana 3/5 is pretty good, especially a 3-mana 3/5 with challenger. You just get a bunch of stuff like that, like 5-mana 5/6 is pretty nuts. This 4-mana 4/4 that gives everything +1/+1. Like this card literally used to be a 4-mana 4/4 and it was too broken, so it got nerfed. So if you can play Omen Hawk and make it a 4/4 again, it'd be, obviously really good. And the other Freljord card I'm playing is Troll Chant. So Troll Chant is an insanely good combat spell. It is a 4 attack/HP differential, which means there has to be more than 4 attack blocking your unit or your unit won't die. So it helps your unit live. So let's say you have a 2/4, right? And they're blocking it with a 5/4. Well, what you can do now is Troll Chant. You give your 2/4 +2 health. So now it's a 2/6. And then you can give that same unit -2 attack. And then so now your unit is, living by a lot, not even a little bit. You can also use this as a way to just completely stop things like impact. Impact is a keyword that says whenever it strikes while it's attacking, it deals damage to the enemy nexus. Well, if they're attacking with a 2/2, for instance, then you can Troll Chant, buff your HP of something, and then just give -2 attack to that unit, and then now you don't have to block it. It's just because it's not doing any damage, you don't have to block it, so it allows you to be able to block something else to save even more HP in that way. And that's why I really like these additions to the mono Demacia style Bannerman deck. It really goes well with this like mid-range me play unit play style, and it just kind of takes it to the next level. So yeah, that's why I think it's really good for this budget mid-range deck. An extremely cheap deck again, the same prices or less than the cost of 3 champion spells, so you should be able to get this one really easily, as well as I think you get a lot of these cards for free in some of the starter decks. So you should be able to make this deck really early on if you do in fact like these mid-range style decks. So that's it for the last deck. Now we're going to go over this budget swarm style deck featuring Vandal City. Alright, and for the last deck on the list here is going to be a budget swarm style deck. So this is for the people that say, well, I don't want to play like some burn deck where I only go face, I want to attack with units, but I also want to be a little bit faster than the mid-range deck we just saw. Well, here you go. This is a swarm style deck, and what swarm means, which I'll be covering in my next video, is actually a Think Like a Pro jargon guide. So if you don't know what all the jargon in card games mean, make sure to check out my video out tomorrow going through all the different jargon in card games, specifically Legends of Runeterra. So what swarm means is you're just going to fill the board really quickly with a bunch of maybe sometimes smaller units, but you're just going to fill the board really quickly and then win that way. And then the way we're going to be able to do that is with things like Fleet Feather Tracker, Protoporo, and the biggest one here that's going to help you with that is Vandal City Mayor. So Vandal City Mayor is a really good card that makes all of your multi-regions cards cost 1 less. So here, we're actually going to do one quick thing here. I don't know why I'm doing this on camera, but we're going to do this. We're going to type in Yordles, because we like Yordles. We're going to save. All right. So again, Vandal City Mayor makes all of your multi-region units cost 1 less, so that's going to be your Stone Stackers, your Loping Telescope, your Protopore is going to cost 0 now, so you just get a 0 mana 1/1 that deals an extra damage when it attacks. So this is basically like a 0 mana 2/1, makes you a 1 mana 3/2, like a bunch of like really broken stuff. And then after you completely swarm the board with these early game cards, your huge payoff is going to be Yordle in Arms. So what this does is this gives all of your units +4/+4. and for the round. So that means it's going to turn all your smaller units here into ginormous beef sticks. And if you have 8 mana, what you get to do is you get to give all of your units +4/+4, swing in, and then cast a Relentless Pursuit, which allows you to attack for a second time during the turn, and then you get to attack again with all of your humongous units, and your opponent should most definitely be dead by that. This style of deck is one of my personal favorite styles of decks. I love these, like, go low to the ground, swarm, be really, really fast. In fact, I'm actually bringing a deck that does, in fact, play Yorls in Arms to Seasonals Tournament this weekend. So this is an extremely budget deck or extremely budget version of a deck that is really, really good that I trust enough to take to Seasonals. So, yeah, that's it. These are the 5 different budget decks for newer players in LOR, or just players in general if you want to try and do a budget challenge. There you go. Again, this is almost the exact same price as just having 3 champions. And again, you'll have a bunch of these cards for free with the starter decks and once you go through the prologues and all of that stuff for Bandle City. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what video you guys want to see next. If you want to see more of these videos for the newer players, if you want to continue to see more deck guides where I go over specific decks, gameplay videos, meme videos, all that type of stuff, let me know in the comment section below, because it helps me out a lot to know exactly what it is you guys like to see. So that's it. Make sure to join me on Discord. The link will be in the description. Join that so you get notifications on everything. I'm running giveaways in my Discord channel right now for different Thresh skins and Karma skins. So join that. Go follow me on Twitch because I share them in there almost every single day, including tonight. And subscribe here on YouTube again because, you know why. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.